The greatest off-road ATV racers in the world are set to square off again in round number 5, the Tiger Run Grand National Cross Country. GNCC on MAVTV starts now.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Hello and welcome to the 5th round of the 2021 GNCC racing season, presented by Specialized and AMA National Championship. We are here for the Dunlop Tiger Run GNCC here in beautiful Union, South Carolina, our second appearance here in Union, South Carolina. I'm Mikey Waynes, and I'll be taking you through today's racing action. Start things off, the Specialized race recap. Round number 4, it was action-packed. Walker Fowler on screen there, grabbing the whole shot in the early lead. But boy, early on in this one, he had plenty of company with Cole Richardson and Adam McGill keeping pace in the second and third place positions throughout much of the day, throughout much of the early part of the race. This situation right here, right behind him, looking for an opportunity to make a pass. They would have that opportunity. Were they able to seize it? There is a guy right there, Chris Borch. Rough day for him. Ended up not finishing the race there. Had enough laps. Got a 14th place finish, I believe, in the overall on the day. But Walker Fowler remained out front with those two guys. Cole Richardson in second, and the Gator Adam McGill knocking on the door in third. And then this right here was what we were talking about. Walker Fowler doing his best lumberjack impression right there. Gets the machine up on two wheels. And that might have been the only window of opportunity for Cole Richardson and McGill to make a pass right there. I'm sure they'd like to have that one back. Maybe they take out their own tree, make a pass, whatever the case is. From that point on, though, it lit a fire under Walker Fowler. He pushed his way to the front and ended up taking his third win of the season in just 4 rounds of racing here in 2021. We had a chance to catch up with him after the race.
Webcams, anti-gravity batteries got us off to another killer start today, and Cole Richardson and Adam McGill latched on for 2 laps. We had a really great pit. Shout out to the guys, all the WFR guys, everyone out in the woods. We had a good pit. We had a good communication out in the woods, and I only made 2 mistakes. One the first lap, and it's on Racer TV. I don't know if it was on the live, but it's on the TV show. I cranked a tree, and it broke. And I was able to save it, so shout out to Precision Steering Stabilizers, because that thing, man, I should have tore my legs up, should have tore the bike up, but I just kind of broke clear through that tree, and was able to stay out in front. I don't know if Cole didn't want to lead or he just was trying to figure out what I was doing, but mentally wore out. Physically, no, but mentally, that was a mental race. That was exciting there. That was just tough. You had to really stay on your toes, and you just had to really just think and use your brain and keep yourself out of trouble. And it was old school GNCC is what that was. So congrats to the GNCC guys for putting on an awesome race. Thank you, fans at home, my beautiful girlfriend, the Pipers. Give the glory to God. And, man, just Flight Racing, GBC, and all these awesome sponsors. Thank you guys so much for everything you do.
Well, congratulations to Cole Richardson as well as Adam McGill on their second and third place finishes at the FMF Camp Coker Bullet. We fast forward to today, and it is the XC1 Pro class set and ready to roll here at the Tiger Run GNCC here at the Big Buck property, where we hosted round number 1 of this season, making our return here. And boy, Chris Borch, good start for him right there, as he is going to be wheel to wheel with Walker Fowler. Walker Fowler edging him out just a little bit right there, but those two guys, boy, how many times have we seen that over the years? Fowler first into the woods, Borich in the number 2 spot. So good start for Fowler, exactly where he wants to be. And if you're not Walker Fowler, it's where you don't want to see him early on in a race. This guy has got an ability to get out front early, control the pace of the race, and click off wins. We'll see if he can do it here today. Good start for both Adam McGill and Cole Richardson in this one. I believe that was Cole sitting there in the number 3 spot, and McGill sitting back in 4th. Those two guys obviously coming off the 2nd and 3rd place finishes in round number 4. We'll see if they can back it up with another podium here today. Back to the starting line we go for the XC2 Pro-Am class. Boy, that looks like the 259. Yes, the 259 Yamaha. Kenny Schick snagging the early lead. He had some company. The 246 Yamaha of Brandon Owens sitting there in the number 2 spot. But boy, great start for Kenny Schick. How about that? Kenny Schick, he's had a couple 4th place finishes this season, but he's not quite been able to make that jump into the top 3 in class on the day. Perhaps today is a day for Kenny to do that, or even better, maybe he can put it center of the box for the win. Back out front with our leaders, and it is Walker Fowler still out in front, putting in the work. And a little gap behind him now. Let's see who's in that number 2 spot. See if it is still Boric. It is. So that is the number 5 of Chris Boric right there, trying to catch up to the pace of Walker Fowler. Chris Boric kicking the dust up in the woods of South Carolina. And who is going to be in that number 3 spot? It is Cole Richardson right there in the number 3 position. Whew, Tiger Run GNCC off and rolling. We'll be right back with more GNCC on MAVTV after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Walker Fowler still leading the way out here. Cole Richardson, we believe, has worked his way into the number 2 spot. We'll get our eyes on that here in just a moment. But Walker Fowler out in front. And sure enough, there is Cole Richardson in that number 2 position, followed by Chris Boric in the number 3 position. And Bryson Neal now in 4th, and he is on the throttle. Adam McGill right there rounding out the top 5. Bryson Neal, a rider without a doubt, heavily favored contender heading into this season to battle with Walker Fowler. Opened the season at this location, by the way, with a win. And he has a 2nd place finish in round 3. But boy, round number 2 and round number 4, he would like to have those back. Both races, he finished 11th on the day. So that's kind of got Bryson Neal behind the 8 ball right now. We'll see what he can do here today. Fowler, you just saw on screen right there, doing it for the GNCC fans. Boy, Fowler with a huge gap now. That dust might settle before we see 2nd place right here. Yeah, it looks like the Cole train right there, and it is. That is Cole Richardson in that number 2 spot. And let's see if we've got Boric or Bryson Neal. There they are. 3rd and 4th, respectively. Bryson Neal now into the number 3 spot. Chris Boric is in 4th. So Boric now falls to the number 4 position. And boy, Neal's doing what he needs to do. He really needs a win, but boy, a podium would be a big step forward after the 11th place finish in round 4. And there he is, Cole Richardson still in that number 2 spot. Little bit of a gap between him and 3rd place. Keeping our eyes on it. Is it going to be Boric or is it going to be Neal? That is Bryson Neal in that number 3 position. Chris Boric not letting him out of his sights, though. Chris Boric, another rider, obviously some mechanical issues in round number 4. He needs a good ride here today as well. So Walker Fowler, the number 1 defending champ, trying to get another win in his historic, legendary career. Here today. We'll see if he can get it done. Still a lot of racing left for him. But boy, right now he is doing his Walker Fowler thing. Is it going to be Cole? No. Can't miss the bright yellow helmet. That is Bryson Neal into the number 2 spot right now. Said it earlier, this guy's charging. He needs a good race here today. He really needs a win. Is he going to be able to make it happen? And boy, look at the sense of urgency in Cole Richardson right there as he is trying to catch back up with Bryson Neal. There is Chris Boric on screen, still sitting in that number 4 position. But boy, what a strong start for Walker Fowler. Well, hey, GNCC, it's more than just ATV racing. In fact, EMTB Racing took the series by storm just a couple of years back. And boy, it really offers something for everybody. There's a pro class, Charlie Mullins, the #1, the defending champion. It's got an amateur class, a women's, a masters, and a youth class. So something for everybody. Runs on Saturday nights at the GNCCs and has really grown by leaps and bounds with the help of the amazing company. Of course, our presenting sponsor this season, Specialized, making things happen here. And boy, Charlie Mullins, who is going to step up to the plate and give this guy a battle? Takes another win here today. Nick Mackey, solid ride out of him. We'll see what Nick Mackey's got in store. And that man right there, Ty McGay, they call him the wing nut. He was poised and ready for battle. Now, Ty McGay, another big name in the youth ranks, coming into row #1, that YXC1 Super Mini senior class, as a title contender. First 4 rounds of the season definitely have not gone the way that he has wanted them to go, not the way he expected them to go, but today he made it happen. He had some good battles early on, and when it all came down to it, Wingnut snagged his first win from row #1, taking the overall in the youth ranks. We had a chance to catch up with Ty McGay after the race.
I was second at the whole shot. I followed Brody for the first 2 laps, and then he flipped, made sure he was good, kept going, and then I got hung up with a lapper, and Harrison Lindsay caught me, and then I hit a rock and threw me over, and Harrison went by, and then I just put my head down, tried to catch him. Came through on this last lap with a bunch of lappers, and I saw him. It gave me a little bit extra energy, so I got behind him. We just followed each other through the woods, tried to get around the lappers as easily as possible, and he hit a tree and flipped, and after that, I was just put my head down and tried riding and make sure I didn't get passed again, and just gave me an overall, and couldn't be happier.
Well, congratulations to my fellow Hoosier, Ty McGay. I'm proud of you, man. Proud of you. And congratulations to Caden Lambruno and Harrison Lindsay as well, rounding out the top 3 right there. Fantastic ride from those guys. Walker Fowler, he's looking for his 4th win of the season, and he sits out front with a pretty comfortable gap right now on the rest of the XC1 Pro riders. I believe Neil is in that 2nd place position still, with Cole Richardson all over that rear grab bar, battling for that #2 position. That is an absolute dogfight between those 2 riders. That one might come down to the wire right there. Fowler now a little more sense of urgency in his ride right there. Probably here's the dogfight that is going on between Neil and Richardson. Those guys inching their way up toward Walker Fowler. We'll see if they put themselves in position to maybe battle for that lead here in just a moment. And Fowler in control, but wait, no, that's Yellow Helmet. That's Bryson Neal. Unless we missed Walker Fowler, and I don't think we did. That is Neal out front. Richardson in the #2 spot. Where is Walker Fowler? There he is. So the #1 Yamaha now falling back to the #3 position. Obviously, passes happened off camera. Didn't catch it. Nonetheless, doesn't matter. Neil doesn't care about it. He says, I'm out front. That's all that matters to me right now. And he is going to be putting in the charge right now. Cole Richardson, rest assured, though, he's got that lasso out. He does not want to let him out of his sights. And Neil says, too bad, so sad, as he is absolutely moving at a blistering pace here in South Carolina. Richardson right with him, though. What a sketchy ride right there through the dust. And Walker Fowler on screen, stuck in that #3 spot. He's playing catch up now. We'll see what Walker Fowler's got in store for Neil and Richardson out front in the #1 and the #2 spot. So tough break for Walker Fowler in the big scheme of things. We always talk about this. Neil out front. We always talk about, boy, if your bad day is still a podium finish, it's pretty daggone good. But the guy who needed the win here today, without a doubt, we mentioned it earlier in the race, Bryson Neal, heavily favored rider heading into the season as Neil checks into the pits right there, gets some fresh fuel, some fresh goggles, some words of encouragement, and he's off and rolling. Does he get out in front of Cole? Yes, believe that's Cole right behind him there in the #2 spot. So 1 and 2 right there, Neil and Cole Richardson. Fowler into the pits now. Mark Notman kind of looking at the machine. they're going to make any adjustments here? No. Fowler says, I'm going to run with it. We'll see what happens. Not exactly sure. Maybe some mechanical issues for Walker Fowler right there. Nonetheless, he sits in third, and Bryson Neal is seizing the opportunity. Like I was just saying, he was a heavily favored contender to battle Fowler heading into 2021. He came out in round 1 with a win. Round 2, you know he wants to have that one back. He had an 11th place finish down in Florida in round number 2. There's a shot of Hunter Hart on screen right there in the what I believe is the number 4 position. So that means Boric, I believe, is going to be in the number 5 spot still. Yes, so Boric is now in 5th with Hunter Hart moving in front of him. Back to Bryson Neal. It has been feast or famine. He came out in round 3 with a 2nd place, and then round 4 just a few weeks back, he had another 11th place finish. So it has been feast or famine for Bryson Neal this season, but it's still early in the season. With that said, he knows as well as anybody else, if he wants to get back into the championship hunt, if he wants to be battling with Walker Fowler down to the wire in this season, he's got to start clicking off wins. Today, I thought, hey, the podium's there for him, but right now, the win is right there in front of Bryson Neal. It's just him against this racetrack, and he is now putting a little gap on Cole Richardson now. So Cole Richardson now playing a little catch-up from the number 2 spot, getting around some lap traffic. We'll see how that comes into play right here. Neal, some issues with his own lap traffic right there. He's able to get around. And Richardson, so as the race wears on, keep in mind, these guys race for 2 hours. So as that race wears on, they get into some of the A classes, some of the B classes. Just that added element of racing a GNCC here in South Carolina, getting around the lap traffic and coursing their way through this race course. You got to keep in mind, those guys, they're racing their own race too. But at the end of the day, the XC1 guys, they're racing for those paychecks. Bryson Neal out front. MAVTV returns after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
The number 2 of Bryson Neal leading the way. Bryson Neal, the man, needs a win here today. I think he's going to get the job done. Bryson Neal, a first-place finish in Big Buck, an 11th in round number 2, an 11th in round 4. He had a number 2 finish, number 2 position finish in round number 3. So it's been a season of ups and downs. Today, he comes out swinging and is in control of this thing. Cole Richardson, fantastic ride out of him today. That man has been fast today, without a doubt. And then Walker Fowler. What happened to Walker Fowler earlier? We'll have to hear the post-race interview. Not exactly sure what happened to him, but he fell back to 3rd, and he's pretty much been there the rest of the day trying to catch pace with these guys. But boy, right now, seizing the moment is Bryson Neal now. He's got a little bit of a gap on Cole Richardson now. Should gives him a little breathing room, and it does right here into the open section, kicking the dust up, hitting the berms, shaking the head. Yes, he's ready to take that win, 2nd win of the season for Bryson Neal. He goes 2 for 2 on the Big Buck property here in 2021, and that man has to be stoked. It is going to be a long road if he wants to get back into the championship hunt this season, but today he put it all together and snagged his 2nd win of the year. We had a chance to catch up with Bryson Neal, all smiles, after today's race.
We're just so happy to get the job done here again at Big Buck. You know, today was a dry, fast, straight up, hot, dusty race, and man, these CST tires, Elka shocks, they were working phenomenal all day, and I'm just pumped. I'm so excited that we got this win, and hopefully keep on pushing forward to the next one, Ironman, and then on to our home track at Athens.
Well, congratulations to Bryson Neal. Cole Richardson on screen, making his way into the finish line, getting the checkered flag from Mr. Ricky Towery right there. Congratulations to Cole. Heck of a ride. One fast dude out there today.
We were riding good, got a stick through the Nerf bar, had to get off and get resituated. Bryson got around me, and I truly, honestly think I was the fastest one out there today. We just weren't in the right position, and that's kind of, kind of hindered at us, and he would open up a 10-second lead. I'd close it, 10 seconds, close it, and he had the dust on his side. He rode really well, and I'm pumped to be on the box.
Well, again, a huge congratulations to Bryson Neal on his second win of the season. Richardson second, and rounding out the top three was Walker Fowler. Had a chance to catch up with Fowler after the race.
Try to just keep the bike moving forward, and then that second lap, I got to a spot where I just couldn't turn, hit another tree. Not hard, just I tried to turn, and I wasn't going to make the corner, so I had to get off the bike, and then my tether cord got wrapped around the handlebars, and then it was a track that you needed to be able to steer and have a good setup, and we just missed it. So that's all there is to it.
Well, taking a look at the Specialized race recap, it was Walker Fowler and Chris Borich battling out front like an old school GNCC. Love to see it, wheel to wheel right there are Fowler and Borich. Fowler eventually able to edge out Chris Borich for the early lead in this one. Borich trying to hang in there. And, boy, Cole Richardson, that man was fast today. Adam McGill right there on screen. Good start for him early. About a middle of the pack start for Bryson Neal. But as we know, that's not how the day ended for him. That man was on a mission out there today. Walker Fowler enjoyed the lead for much of the early part of this race. But, boy, not exactly sure what happened for Cole Richardson and Bryson Neal to move into the number 1 and number 2 spot. Fowler not liking the feel of the machine today. Ended up settling into that number 3 position for the rest of the day as it rolled on. And boy, the battles we saw between Cole Richardson and Bryson Neal. Two riders, I mean, we talked heavily about how much Bryson Neal needed the win, but you can make the same argument at today's race for Cole Richardson. That man needed the win today as well. Both certainly needed a podium. They got that, but there could only be one winner, and today that was Bryson Neal. He just set himself apart. Cole Richardson, like he even said himself, he felt like he was the fastest machine out there today. Just couldn't find that way around Bryson Neal, but nonetheless, fantastic ride for both riders. But when it's all said and done, hey, like I said, there can only be one winner. Bryson Neal, he was the man today. Took a win here earlier this season at round number 1, the Big Buck GNCC. Backs it up. We return to the Big Buck property for the Tiger Run, and it's Bryson Neal taking the checkered flag for the second time this season here in 2021. So a big congratulations to Bryson Neal on the win. He's going to have to do a lot more of that as the season moves on. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching GNCC on MAVTV. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.